Hello and welcome to another episode of Cosmic Commentary. Today we talked about the restart of the Premier League, what's happened so far, Liverpool finally getting the title they've been waiting for so long, the Champions League spots, what's going on there, what's going on in the relegation zone, and who's going to come up to replace the relegated teams. And a very cheeky look at what lies ahead in the very fast-track Champions League planned for August. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So we've had a bit of a break from our last week, which was just before the Premier League had started, and Cos had an exam frenzy. He's done.
I'm done. Yeah.
He's very happy. It's me and Cos in the studio today.
I don't sound happy, but I'm happy.
Oh, yeah, he's happy, but just out of energy, just completely drained. But it's done. It's done. And the Premier League is back. And the Premier League is finally in the hands of Liverpool. Bam! And then they got thwacked the week after, but we'll get to that in a moment.
We will get to that in a moment,
yeah.
And we'll discuss that further.
But what we've missed so far since our last episode, so Liverpool's won the league. I think there's been 3 rounds in the Premier League that have come through. The German league is finished officially. Bayern won by a country mile. Spain and Italy have also restarted, and there's a genuine title race, I guess, in both those leagues. Yeah, there's Real Madrid's gone from 2 points down to 4 points up now.
Yeah,
Barcelona drawing 3 games, and Bayern, sorry, not 3. I think they've played 5 games. But Barcelona's drawn 3, and Real Madrid has won all of their games. So good on them, and Juventus, of course. Keep it piling on the...
Well, the Juventus won all their games against pretty much...
average teams.
Average teams, and Lazio lost a game against Atalanta, so...
Arguably the informed team of the league. The informed
team of the league who've won every game since the restart.
And they've actually been playing against decent teams.
Yeah, they have, so... But no, there's still a genuine title race. Lazio have been winning as well, so... That's the only game they lost. So
that's more or less the summary outside of England. But before we go into what's actually happening in the Premier League, there was one notable.
Well, I personally thought he was deceased, but it turns out he's not. Osama bin Laden was actually spotted in the crowd at one of the Premier League games.
I don't even know which game it was, but
I forgot which game it was. But it was absolutely fascinating to see him there supporting.
And
he looked pretty happy too. He had a nice smile on his face.
Well, he's spreading a contagious disease around the world.
Oh, is that what he's doing
without social distancing? So of course he's happy.
Oh, he's changed strategy, has he?
Yeah, he's changed. He's going biochem warfare. So we've confirmed that Osama bin Laden is behind the COVID-19, the coronavirus spread. But jokes aside, the Premier League has started up again, and Liverpool finally wrapped up the Premier League after... Actually, it was kind of Chelsea that did the dirty work again.
Chelsea did it again, yeah.
They won the league for another team. Congratulations. Because they've won the title for, I think...
Well, they won it for Leicester.
They won it for Leicester. They won it for Manchester City by beating Liverpool. And not really. They didn't actually do it in that week, but yeah.
Well, that was that infamous game, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was the one. And now they've done it again. They beat Manchester City 2-1 and then lost to West Ham
3-2. Yeah.
3-2. So there's that. Liverpool then got trounced by Man City, who were clearly hurting after that.
Well, I like what City did before the game, actually. The Guard of Honour for Liverpool. That shows respect. But then they also showed them that we're still here. And, we'll be back next season.
It's like we respect you, and now
but we'll be back next season, and this is what you're going to face: a 4-0 thumping.
This is what you're going to get ready for next season. It's not going to be this easy next season. I thought it was. I don't know if you saw the post-match interview. Klopp had to deal with a few questions after the interview.
I watched the highlights, but I didn't watch the post-match press conference.
So the reporter asks, I think he said something to the tune of, so this game didn't mean that much to the Liverpool players or something along those lines, or they had a lack of what is it? Not motivation, but like lack of
focus, intensity.
I don't know. Yeah, like intensity. And Klopp just lost it.
Well, see, on the surface, right? Just as as an Australian looking in, that seems like a fair question because Liverpool did just wrap up the league, so it would make sense that mentally they're not fully in tune with the game and what's required. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, so why did Klopp lose it?
He lost it because he first of all, the players did put in effort. He said, "What a stupid question," and something along the.
Well, actually, early in the game they were on top.
Yeah.
Liverpool before the penalty conceded, Liverpool were actually on top.
And having actually watched the entire game, or just about the entire game, because it was early in the morning and it was depressing, so I did catch up on a little bit of sleep. But I was listening to the whole thing.
You can't be
De
too
Bruyne. No, close your eyes, forget it, rock yourself to sleep. But
we've won the league, yeah.
Yeah, we won the league. But having watched the game, the effort was definitely there, but you could tell the focus was not.
Well, that's
and I think
kind of goes into.
But
question.
It wasn't a case of. I don't think it was a case of complacency. I think it was just a case of. It's really hard to come down after you've just partied as they did after winning the league.
Yeah, that is true.
Because it happened, 4 days before?
Yeah, and but this is the time to be complacent.
Yeah,
I mean, this is if you want to be complacent, this is the time to be complacent.
But yeah, I don't think it was a we think we're going to roll through this. I think it was just more that they just won the league, and to be honest, they're looking to get. They're still on track to get the record points tally for the season. They need 15 points from 6 games, so they got 18 points. So they're allowed to drop points in one game, and win the rest. Then
so that's what they're playing for now. If
they're going to go for that.
If they want to.
Yeah. Well, Klopp's actually admitted to saying that. Yeah, we're going to go for it.
So, right, here we go. Then.
So. Okay. So that's on the cards, and so they've still got a game to spare. They do have to play Chelsea and Arsenal along the way, I think, which is going to be difficult. Chelsea just love throwing a spanner in the works.
Well, Chelsea will be at home, at least. I know there's no crowd, but it's still Anfield. So.
Well, Arsenal away, to be fair, doesn't really matter. Even if it wasn't... Okay, Arsenal is better at home, but still... Arsenal...
Yeah.
I'm not...
Liverpool, they haven't really troubled Liverpool lately, so...
Well, at home they were always being annoying, but I think Arsenal are at the moment not in a good place. So still going to be hard though. Still going to be hard, definitely for Liverpool.
It's never an easy game.
It's really hard to say because
Arsenal's not a bad team. I mean, they're not great, but they're not bad.
Yes,
they're not bad.
I'm tempted to say they're bad. They are in they're almost in the bottom half. Let me just confirm.
Well, maybe without Aubameyang, they'd be pretty. Right down in the relegation zone.
But they have Aubameyang. That's the problem.
They have Aubameyang.
They are 8th.
And their goal difference?
6. That's pretty...
Yeah, that was due to their last game because they won 4-0 or something against Norwich.
Yeah, 4-0 against Norwich. That'll help.
Otherwise, it was on par with...
And 2-0 against Southampton as well. So they were on 0.
Yeah.
Before that.
It was on par before those last 2 games.
Also, the 2 games just before that, they got smashed by Man City 3-0 and lost to Brighton 2-1. So,
Brighton's not a bad side.
That got rid of all the goodwill that they picked up from before the pandemic.
They're that team. This is where they're at. They're just one of those inconsistent teams that just win games and lose games.
Well, the 2 games...
and you don't know where you're going. They're just going through the motions.
But the game against...
It's like the mouse on the... the little mouse on its exercise.
On the treadmill.
They're moving, but they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Arsenal forever on a hamster wheel. But the games against Norwich and Southampton, they were gifted the goals. 2 of the goals against Norwich were literally... in fact... The goal against Southampton was also, I think they won the ball off the keeper and just slotted into an empty net. And against Norwich, the same thing happened to open the score.
Now you mentioned the keeper, and I have had exams, so I haven't looked at this too closely. I saw on the news highlights of a keeper. I forgot what team I think it was Brighton. I'm not sure.
Probably Norwich.
I don't think it was Norwich, but he threw the ball.
He got away with it. He got away
with it, but it went complete. It was like a 6-year-old who had never thrown a ball in his life. I did not know that was possible for a professional goalkeeper at that level, or anyone really, to produce that throw.
I've done that before as a goalkeeper in a game, but
you were not in the Premier League.
Oh no. but having done it, it is a very sort of specific experience to have thrown a ball and it just sort of like falls out of your arm, like that, and it's something that. You need to make the mistake once, and you never make it ever again. Like, it just doesn't happen ever again. So
you know what you can pinpoint exactly what went wrong.
Oh yeah, well, basically, it's literally that he goes to throw the ball, and he hasn't got, like, he's not actually covering the ball with his arm properly, and because of that, like, and he's not thinking about the ball, he's not looking at the ball. So when he's gone for the backlift to throw it, then like the ball's just slid out beyond sort of the part of his hand which he needs to get behind the ball, and then so when his arm goes forward, like the ball's already like at his fingertips, so it's not going with his hand. It's gone and then stopped there. But he got away with it. I think it was Brighton, but he got away with that. I think the team ended up losing anyway.
It was just one of the most craziest things I've ever seen. During a soccer match, yeah.
Actually, it might have been the game against Arsenal where that happened. I know. I remember Leicester.
He got away with it.
Yeah, he got away with it though.
Yeah, thank God for that.
And they've done all right, Brighton. They've had a rough start back.
They're not a bad team, Brighton.
Well, they played Arsenal, Leicester, and Manchester United. The results have gone progressively worse. They beat Arsenal. They drew with Leicester. They lost to Manchester United.
Well, not
pretty
bad.
heavily.
Not bad.
3-0.
4 points. You take
4 points. Yeah, you take the points though, and now they're pretty much safe.
Yeah.
Now
they got Aaron Moy.
There's a couple of things to go into. Actually, we might, before we go into the relegation battle, we might start with the top 4, because now it's a top 3 battle.
Yeah, well, it could be could actually go from third to fifth, really, with City's banned, but anyway.
Well, Leicester hasn't won since the restart, so they've been caught up by Chelsea and Manchester United and Wolves, just about. Wolves and Manchester United are 3 points behind Leicester now.
Yeah,
which seemed like...
It's made things very interesting.
Yeah, they seemed like they were so far away for so much of the season, but Leicester's just been on a terrible run of form. They haven't been able to score the goals they need to. They drew with Watford in their first game back. Then they drew with Brighton, as we just mentioned before.
And they drew with Everton.
They lost with Everton. They lost to Everton.
They lost to Everton?
They lost to Everton.
2-1, that's right.
Everton looking pretty good, by the way. They drew with Liverpool, and then they won their next 2 games.
Ancelotti's training them there.
Yeah.
The break did them good.
Conceded once.
Yeah.
And they've scored... they've only scored 3 times, but that's efficiency there. They've won 2 games with a goal difference of 2.
This is the early stages of an Italian manager. Shore up the defence, the goals will come.
But yeah, they've looked solid. I have to say, against Liverpool, they looked solid at the back, but also dangerous going forward. They didn't have strikers that inspire confidence.
I would actually like to see Everton not sign too many players this off-season, because they always change their team a lot. I'd like to see them gain some sort of consistency with their progression. If you chop and change too much, it doesn't. There's no improvement. You've got to actually have some sort of stability.
They might need a bit of boosting in midfield.
Like you can make a couple of signings, like smart signings, but don't make so many signings that you've got to change your whole...
No, Ancelotti's not really the type to overhaul a team.
If you've got a stable core or whatever... Then
he's the kind of guy that joins a team that's already ready to challenge, so... Could be going for the title next season.
You never know. The Premier League's a funny league.
I know this one. The answer is no.
Which is third.
The answer is no.
Which will be third. That's the title for them.
But actually, speaking of Everton, they're in 11th, right? But they're only 11 points behind Leicester, which sounds like a lot.
Third position is on for any of these teams.
Well, no,
the top 2, forget it. But the third, yeah.
Well,
I think
case. making up 11 points over the next 6 games is a bit of a stretch, even for Everton.
No, I'm talking next season.
Oh, next season, definitely. Definitely.
But I reckon next season United will probably...
Well, we'll get to that in a second, moving up the table. But Sheffield, after looking just despondent, and I thought they were going to hit relegation form after the first 2 games.
After the first 2 games was relegation form.
Yeah, because they looked completely impotent. They couldn't stop goals from going in. It was a shambles, but they've really kicked it back in style against Tottenham.
Well, I think that what this shows is that in terms of individual quality, Sheffield aren't where they're well above where they should be.
Oh yeah, we've known that for a while.
But in terms of team performance, team defending, they're one of
the best in the league.
They are, and that's what's gotten them to these positions. So they needed a couple of games just to sort of get back into the groove.
Mm.
And now, and in that FA Cup game, they really turned it around, and then they've just beaten Tottenham. So
although mind you, Tottenham were quite stiff for the first goal getting disallowed. I don't know if you actually saw it.
I did. He fell. He was tripped.
Lucas Moura got completely bulldozed over.
He got bulldozed, and then his hand just sort of hit the ball.
Well, I don't think his hand even hit the ball. Someone booted the crap out of the ball into his hand.
Yeah, well...
And then it deflected on to Harry Kane, who did some nice work to get around one defender and then slotted it into the goal. It was a nice finish.
Just reminding us how good he is.
Yeah, he's back on it.
Yeah.
And he's back on the pitch, more importantly, so
yes,
thank goodness for that. But the thing that got to me, though, right, is that not only do they disallow this goal, but they don't even award a free kick. It's like they completely forgot about the fact that...
I think the people at the Heathrow airport have also been rusty on these videos.
I don't know...
Because Sheffield got denied a goal. There was a clear goal across the goal line.
Yeah.
And then so I reckon they're rusty too, the ones in the Heathrow airport trying to look at these videos.
Oh, yeah, that goal against Villa. That would have had them in the spot now.
Well, they would have... Theoretically, they would have won. So they would have been... They would have had another.
Well, they would have been 2 points behind Wolves if that had.
Yeah.
No, they would have been 3 points behind because.
Well, 3 points.
You're
looking at the table.
Yeah.
I'm just agreeing with you.
No, yeah. But Wolves are looking hot right now. They haven't conceded since the restart.
Wolves have been fantastic, I got to say.
Well, the thing that held them back in the pre-pandemic was that they conceded the first goal more than any other team in the league, basically.
Yeah, it's very.
Yet. Yeah, they were, in the top 7, which is ridiculous.
Well, it's a good sign. Because that's a lot of upside.
They're basically the best team at coming back, and they've only conceded one equaliser the whole season.
There's a lot of upside for Wolves. You'd be pretty excited if you're a Wolves fan.
So basically, with Wolves having only conceded one equaliser all season, that means that once they take the lead,
it's gone.
It's very, very hard to get back into the game, let alone beat them. No one's beaten them after Wolves have taken the lead. So
they've only conceded the one equaliser.
Exactly. So
theoretically,
I think that was against Watford as well.
Oh man!
Or some team that wasn't big, basically. So they are just looking really good. And Manchester United, I have to say, props to them. They're on the improve, and they're on the rise.
Well, it all started with the signing of Fernandes. He's been a revelation for United.
No. This started with the signing of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That's what
definitely not.
I'm being legit. I'll let you go with Fernandes, but I'm going to go back to Solskjaer and what he's.
Well, I'll let you explain your reasoning because I've just sort of looked at this. But I mean, he started like a house on fire, and then the form just went.
All right. Well.
Kind of a bit patchy.
That's not even what I'm talking about. I mean, I'm not talking about tactical genius.
I'm just saying when Fernandes came to United, the improvement was instant in terms of the midfield, the way the team functioned, and they started getting results.
But that's like saying
consistent basis.
And now
he was a key. He's been a key player.
And now I'm gonna win you over now.
Yeah, win me over
for Solskjaer. All right, look at Liverpool. Right, things changed when they signed Alisson. Really. Right, that's when it was a complete turnaround. They went from top 4 finish to elite
to 97 points. They should have
elite
won
Premier League
any other season. They would have won the league
and Champions League winners. Yeah. So, Alisson was the one, right?
Yeah.
In this case, it's Fernandes, right?
Yeah.
But also before that they signed Van Dijk, they signed Mane, they signed Salah.
Oh, that's Liverpool. What have United done?
So United, since Solskjaer came in, right, before Solskjaer came in, transfer policy complete and utter garbage. There's just so many players that came through the door. Pogba's the only one that actually has quality and added to the team. Other than that,
no. Well, they signed a lot of great players. They just didn't fit the system.
Exactly. Every signing that Solskjaer has made the team better. Think about that.
No, that is true.
Not only,
and he would have been integral to changing the transfer policy.
Yeah,
the system that they were running with. And
so they signed Maguire. Then he made the team better. Wan-Bissaka definitely made the team better.
Yeah, he definitely did.
There were a few. James has sort of like increased the squad depth, but he's still made the team better.
He's a young lad, isn't he?
Yeah,
and he's doing well there.
He's made a few promotions from the youth team. He's passed on. Obviously, he's sent off Ashley Young, Chris Smalling, Lukaku, a whole bunch of players really. I don't know. No, Rooney wasn't at the club anymore. That's old school.
But no, you've made a very good point there.
And now obviously Fernandes
was the one signing.
Well, he shored up their defence through Bissaka.
I'm starting to like Solskjaer now.
Yeah, I like him. Maguire.
I never didn't like him.
Yeah, true.
You can't not like Solskjaer.
No, but he's really built the team up slowly and paved the foundation for Fernandes to come in and actually take them up to the next level. He did.
But you know what's more exciting?
Pogba's back.
Pogba is back.
And he's legit back.
He's looking good.
He looks good. And he hasn't had to do that much. Well, sorry, I'll rephrase that. I don't mean... I mean in the sense that he doesn't have to score the goals.
Well, he doesn't have to.
There's no pressure on him, just like in the French team.
He doesn't have to, because like we were talking about before, other teams used to be able to keep out United. Like, there's only a few players that could, seriously threaten the goals. But now, if you keep out Rashford, you keep out Martial, you got Fernandes, you got Pogba there.
Yeah,
that's a real weapon.
And you got the young gun, you got Greenwood as well. Causing issues.
So you got those issues, and then defensively, the defense is strong, and it's been shored up. So they're looking really good. I reckon next season they should be looking to build on this. I mean, they're fifth now.
Well, they've conceded once since the restart. They drew to Tottenham because Tottenham's just a tough team. So I don't really blame them for that. But they haven't conceded other than that. They've won 3-0 twice, I believe. Once against Sheffield, once against Brighton. Sheffield, I think it was another case of gifting goals. But
it was a case of gifting goals, but United, you take nothing away.
But Brighton, it was a very professional performance. They just ploughed through them. 2-0 first half, and then they scored another one at the end. De Gea had to make a few good saves, but that's what he's there for. So
he's still there. He hasn't left yet.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for this guy to leave for years. He's still there.
And people are talking about now how De Gea's making the team holding them back, saying that they need to get a better keeper. Oh, I love it. United fans are already dreaming for the clouds. They're looking at how they need to improve.
He had been making some high profile errors, hadn't he?
He had, but
he's still a very good keeper.
Let's not forget he was 3 or 4 seasons straight.
Oh no, clearly
the player of the season in a very average team. So he single-handedly kept them basically in European spots. So
he's an absolute gun.
I think you should. It's a case of you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Think very carefully before getting rid of De Gea. You need a good keeper.
I saw a meme that had
Liverpool fans should know as much as anyone. You need a good keeper.
Oh yeah, you need a good keeper. I saw a meme where United fans basically, because Henderson, he's on loan to Sheffield, right? So
which Henderson are we?
So Henderson's a keeper.
Yes.
Of Sheffield, and he's been doing good.
Yeah,
but he occasionally makes an error, like the one against Liverpool where
Wijnaldum
shot straight into him and went through his legs. The meme was saying how United fans, it had like a split screen of like Gordon Ramsay, for Henderson, when he makes a big mistake, he's like, "Oh, you poor thing," blah blah. It's like when he's holding a little child, because when Gordon Ramsay's on the like kids version of Gordon Ramsay. He's all nice and stuff. And then for when De Gea makes an error, it's like the American version is like, "You fucking donkey," which is about right. They're not even that big errors as well. Because the mistake in quotation marks like what he made against Tottenham was a shot that was blasted pretty much straight at him. He should have done better with it, but like it was hit straight. He was hit very hard at him, and it wasn't from that far away, you know. So like you need a bit of luck sometimes with those ones, you know. And he hit it into him. It hit his hand. He didn't put enough onto it. It sort of like just snuck in, kind of at the near post. And you know everyone was talking about, oh, we would have won this game if not for De Gea. Oh, De Gea sucks. We need to ship him on. We need to buy. It's like, mate, who's going to come to your like? Let's not forget.
Would De Gea have been better off missing the ball? Because then he could just say, "Oh, I was too powerful. I couldn't get a hand."
Well, it was the near post, so you sort of.
Yeah, but even so, if you put that in the top corner of the near post and it's that powerful, the keeper can only do so much.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
I mean, you can get beaten at the near post, but then there's getting beaten at the near post. Yeah. Something brilliant.
Well, getting beaten, being at the near post by a smash shot into the top corner, then like what can you do? Yeah. Like it's just a brilliant hit. So anyway, enough on De Gea though. The other two teams in contention here, Chelsea, Leicester. Now they're the ones that are defending
third and fourth. Yeah,
they are the what do they call it? I guess so United and Wolves are the challengers, and Chelsea and Leicester are the defending.
Well, defending their spots. Yeah, basically.
And. I don't know. Like it's getting a bit dicey, you know.
Well, they seem to have the jitters, don't they? Leicester definitely have it. Chelsea, inconsistent results. So
2-1 victories. One against Villa. One against some team, Manchester something.
Yeah, that's right.
City, and then
then West Ham doing the job.
So they scored 2 goals in every game. It's just that against West Ham they conceded 3. So that's what cost them.
That's what cost them. Leicester look the most vulnerable now to lose their spot.
Well, Leicester have the opposite problem. They obviously
they're not scoring enough, but their defense has been okay.
Yeah, well they drew against Watford with I can't remember. It was just one of those sort of goals that hit enough people and then just bobbled its way over the line against Watford. They scored a ripper goal to take the lead through Chilwell. It was sort of like
they did. Yeah, I remember
top
that.
corner across the keeper. Just no one's really expecting him to even shoot, and then just bang! It's like the one spot he could get it in, he got it there.
Yep.
And then they just a few minutes later they cop a goal. It was just it was equally terrible as the other one had quality. Like that's
yeah.
and then they couldn't score against Brighton. And then against Everton, they just found it really difficult to break through. Eventually, they did score a goal, but again, it was sort of there wasn't really much quality to the. Well, that one didn't have much quality. It was sort of just forced over the line.
Yeah, Everton look good though.
And Everton do look good.
Yeah.
And that they opened up a little bit too much, Leicester, in that one, and conceded a couple of goals from Everton, who are looking, let's just say, surgical, really. Everton.
Yes.
Just very, very Italian.
Very Italian.
Very Italian.
Yeah.
So
it's all the blue, man. It's in the blue.
It is in the blue. But the spot at Leicester was already taken and Chelsea was already taken, so he went to Everton. That's it. That's where you go. Yeah. He'd already been to Chelsea as well, so he's just like, been there, done that. Don't need to do that twice.
I need another shade of blue.
Yeah, need
just
another
a little bit darker
challenge.
This one, yeah.
Oh, they're the same. They're the same colour.
I thought Everton's a touch.
They have they just have white shorts, whereas Chelsea have all blue.
Well, that's more
which is probably more Italian, actually. Yeah, so now he's really feeling it.
Yeah,
he's like, this is where I was meant to be. Like Chelsea was, the only blue team that actually challenged before, but now I'm here with my true home. That's probably what it was. That's what got him over the line. He just thought, it's like,
is Everton's away strip white with blue shorts?
No. Yeah, at the moment, it's
Well, next season,
you know how it is.
Next season
it will be.
They'll have to make that adjustment. Yeah.
But at the moment, it's like a salmon kit.
Well, that's silly. Next season's going to be white with blue shorts.
Well, that's their third kit.
It's very easy.
Their away kit, I think, is black.
Yeah, well, it's got to change. You got to make Ancelotti happy.
Yeah, you got to keep the guy happy. The guy,
even if he doesn't ask for it, just do it subconsciously. He'll just be like, "No, I feel good now." So.
But next up for those teams, actually, I think at some stage Manchester United are playing Leicester and Chelsea are playing Wolves.
Oh, there we go.
Not in this week.
No, but intense games. That's good.
So this week, Chelsea's playing Watford, Leicester's playing Crystal Palace, both at home, but we know that doesn't mean too much at the moment. Whereas Manchester United is playing Bournemouth, so that's a win. Bournemouth are by far. We're going to get to that.
They are in terrible form.
And Wolves is playing Arsenal, so I'm backing Wolves to win that.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Quite, I wouldn't say comfortably, but I'd be pretty confident that they're going to get.
I reckon they'll win. Yeah,
and I think Arsenal actually think they're a good team at the moment after winning 4-0, even though they've been gifted. They're not going to get gifts.
So they'll need
against
to be,
Wolves.
No, they won't. And Wolves have a solid defence.
Well, they haven't conceded yet this part of the season. So we're going down to the bottom, where it's gotten. So Norwich is basically they might as well start handing out posted cards.
No, they're gone.
Postcards, just saying, see you in the championship. See you from the championship. Bournemouth, I think, are close to follow that. Both teams just finding it so hard to score. To get close to goals, let alone score. They've had real trouble. I've looked at them in quite deep detail. So I would go as far as to say, even though points-wise Bournemouth is equal with Villa, and they're only 1 point behind Watford, I think it's almost a foregone conclusion. Brighton have
look in terms of
a bit of distance between.
In terms
themselves.
of Bournemouth's form, they don't look like they're in that they're in Premier League sort of level at the moment. Aston Villa at least are competing.
Yeah.
So you can see them getting out of it, but Watford is also competing. So I reckon it's out of those two. But form can change pretty quickly. So
Aston Villa played Wolves and Chelsea. They lost those two games by a goal.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. They're competing at this level against good teams. So, but I mean, form can change. What do I know? But it seems like Bournemouth is going to go if they don't improve at this stage.
I wouldn't even put it down just to form, though. They've just been they've scored one goal, and it was against Newcastle, and it was the most. I was very disappointed in that goal. But the goal was literally just. It's just.
Did you bet on Newcastle to win 2-0?
Yeah, I did.
To win 2-0.
Put on money on Newcastle to win 2-0, unfortunately, and it was going well right up until literally the last play of the game, and the ball just sort of hit a bunch of bodies. A bunch of bodies hit each other, got each other out of the way, and the ball just kept going and it went to the goal. So it was just as primitive as you get when it comes to conceding a goal.
There you go.
So Bournemouth, I just don't know where the goals are going to come from, and they shipped 4 goals against Newcastle. I mean, come on. No disrespect to Newcastle, but they're not Manchester City.
That is difficult to do. That is difficult to do.
They did only ship 1 against Wolves, but
yeah,
Wolves are. They just need the 1 goal, and
that's all they need.
They're not going to push for a second.
So they're Portuguese. See, Espírito Santo. So you got the Portuguese effect in there. Like that, they do it just as well as Italians, probably better.
Yeah, it's. Well, he actually is Portuguese. So.
Yeah,
and they've got a bunch of Portuguese players in there too.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, Aston Villa and Watford sort of next in line. But West Ham, with that win against Chelsea, pulled them out of the relegation zone, pushed Aston Villa into it.
Yes.
But really, I think it's out of those 3. You're probably looking at West Ham, Watford, Aston Villa, and it just depends on how they go now. Brighton is, I think, got enough distance. They're playing Norwich this week, so they could really help do themselves a favour by... Yeah,
if they can win that, they'll be definitely next season.
And they don't even have to win it. They don't have the pressure of needing to win, whereas Norwich sort of...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I Norwich
don't know where they're going to...
Yeah, they're a bit too far behind.
I don't know where they're going to get the goals from. Yeah, they haven't scored since the restart, so... and they haven't really looked like scoring since the restart. Norwich.
Yeah, they look gone.
And they've gifted so many goals.
It'll be a massive turnaround if they get out of this now.
Well, looking now in the other direction. So if we go below the Premier League, that's right. There are teams below the relegation zone.
Yeah, there's more than 20 teams in England.
In the Championship. And we don't normally talk about the Championship, so I think
no, we don't.
Brief introduction. Leeds and West Brom have been fighting for the top 2 spots, which are automatic qualification spots.
Well, they've been fighting to win the Championship, basically, which means nothing in terms of promotion.
Yeah, they don't actually care about winning the second division. They just want to finish in the top 2 because you get automatic promotion, whereas the next 4 teams have to fight off in a final series, which Leeds are never good at. And Leeds...
Oh, yeah.
Leeds has been waiting quite a while to come back.
I will confess, I'm now emotionally invested in this because I do see potential here as a Leeds fan. So
it's very hard.
But look, I mean, they are the best chokers of all time. I got to say, and that draw to Luton. I mean, I know Luton,
you have a thing for chokers, don't you?
I do. I love the choke.
Juventus,
that draw,
Leeds.
Yeah, that's right.
You should be a Tottenham fan as well.
Juventus in the Champions League final. Yeah,
Tottenham as well. You should be a Tottenham fan.
No, I'm a Leeds fan. I mean, what's the point going for 2 English teams?
Yeah, true.
But and Leeds did the massive choke of all time, dropping 2 divisions.
Yeah.
However,
that's not a choke. That's just being absolutely garbage. A choke is when you have a chance to win something.
They drowned. Okay, they drowned. They drowned.
They're well and truly suffocated.
But
they drowned and then they went underground, like below.
What's annoying me though is Brentford's form. I don't even.
So Brentford is in 3rd place right now.
They're in 3rd and they've won. They've beaten Fulham, they've beaten West Brom, and they've smashed Reading.
And they're all teams basically all fighting for the top 6.
Yeah, so their form is really annoying me because I really don't care about finishing first in the Championship. I just don't
finish below 2nd.
But the gap between 3rd and the top 2 is now.
It's stayed pretty consistent. It's been sort of 6 points.
Well, now it's what's 5 points between.
I think there was one point where the gap was a bit smaller because Leeds was.
But how did they not beat Luton? I mean, that goal
because Luton defend with 10.
That goal that Luton player scored. I mean, Jesus Christ! I would have paid extra just to let. Why did you pull that off against us? Why pull that stuff? It's a great goal, but did you have to do it against Leeds?
Yes,
he could have done it against any other team.
He absolutely did have to do it against Leeds.
There's 23. There's 22 other teams you could have done it against, but you had to choose
23.
But
other teams.
Yeah, but not including Luton.
Sorry,
so
you got me there.
So 22.
But
you could have done it against, but you had to pick Leeds. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I had to let him finish his rant.
Yeah.
Because he's well.
I'm emotionally invested. I can see the end. I can see promotion.
Look, the promotion's still well on track, and
no, I can see us avoiding the playoffs. That's what I see. Last season it was different, but automatic promotion is different to the playoffs.
Oh, definitely, and they'll be pushing that. There's 6 games left. They've got a 6-point buffer. They need to win probably 4 games. I think they'll be fine if they win 4 games. That'll be enough.
Oh, let's hope so.
Well, if they win 4 games,
let's hope so.
Then Brentford have to win every single game.
Yeah, that's true. To
overtake them, and there's still West Brom, who they're ahead of.
Well, I don't care about West Brom.
Yeah.
Well, I care about Brentford right now.
Yeah, they're not in great form either, so it's a very tense finish there. And they're just for a bit of context, there's.
But also, what's annoying. And if I'm being totally honest,
mm-hmm.
Brentford is probably the best team in the Championship.
Oh, definitely. Their goal difference is well ahead of anyone else's.
Their defence is the best.
And their
attack's the best.
They just don't get results.
They just, yeah.
They spent too many of their goals against teams like Luton, winning 7-0. And...
that shows that they can score heavily,
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day,
But they didn't beat Leeds.
They didn't.
And the second time
that's turned out to be a huge result right now.
And the second time they played Luton, they didn't beat them either. So
yeah,
they lost. So just goes to show how things can turn around quickly before all that happens. But right, I forgot.
Did you have a eureka moment?
No, it wasn't a eureka moment.
Oh.
But this sort of swings it back to the Premier League, and I think this will also swing back to sort of the end of today.
Yeah.
So last time we spoke, we had our eyes on the unofficial champion of England.
We did, yeah.
And Crystal Palace did beat Bournemouth.
So
they carried it through. Liverpool then took it off them and then handed it straight to Manchester City. So Manchester City are now the unofficial... we didn't even get to celebrate being the unofficial champions. We became the official champions, then we thought, okay.
Can this be brought up in press conferences?
It should be.
I'm waiting for a reporter to say, you are now the unofficial... I want to see the reaction of the manager.
Well, how's this, though? They said, okay, thank you, Manchester City, for losing to Chelsea. As a reward for this gesture, we are going to hand you the unofficial title of England. Don't lose it to some garbage team that you're going to play next week, whoever that's going to be.
Yeah, they probably will.
Well, they're not playing a garbage team this week, so... They're playing Southampton, so Danny Ings.
Yeah,
Danny Ings is hungry. He wants the unofficial.
Wants the unofficial, yeah. I love this merry-go-round of unofficials.
Well, what I'm hoping for is that Manchester City cough it up against the team that then play Liverpool later in the season, and then Liverpool can just have all of it come together. And then Manchester City can go up and win their official competitions, like something petty like the FA Cup and the Champions League.
Yeah,
it's fine, whatever. But
that?
unofficial title. We want that. We want all over that.
Yeah.
Because anything you wanted to add or look forward to in the week ahead?
The only thing I want to add is go Leeds.
Go Leeds.
And just go Leeds, man. I'm all over it right now.
And I actually want to see
I'd love to see Leeds back in the English Premier League. It's been too long.
Definitely, and in terms of the Champions League, right? Obviously, there's the possibility that Manchester City miss out next season still as well.
Yeah, that's true. If depending on the court proceedings,
how robbed would they feel if they won this season and then they can't play next? They'll be the first the European Cup winners.
They
to not play
legitimately
next season.
they could win this season.
Yeah,
legitimate because with all the breaks and all that,
especially the timing. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of these teams...
Well, Bayern look good, but they're going to be stuffed.
Yeah, they won't be playing any sort of real competitive games.
No.
And
neither will France, because their league's done. So
yeah, so really the Italian, Spanish and English leagues are going to have an advantage going into the Champions League fixtures, which are in August, I believe.
It's also quite possible they're the only teams that will be left in the competition by the quarterfinals. So. Well, actually, no, PSG's in.
PSG's in, but this will be funny. I'd like to see how they go.
But like Leipzig and Bayern.
Yeah.
Leipzig are also in.
That's right. They've beaten Tottenham.
But Bayern are 3-0 up against Chelsea.
Yeah,
that could turn really ugly.
They could turn ugly because Chelsea aren't that bad. I mean, Bayern's a better team, but they're not but Chelsea's not a bad team.
And we've seen Bayern come back from weeks of not playing competitive football and getting absolutely demolished by other teams. So. This could be on. This could be one of those great comebacks. I'm not seeing it, but
look, it would be still unlikely, but it's not out of the total realm of possibility.
The thing is, Chelsea lost 3-0 at home.
Yeah, this will be funny.
But here's the thing, right? They don't need away goals, right? Like if they win by 3 goals but concede some goals, if they win 4-1, for example, they're through.
That's right.
Because the away goals will count against Bayern, if anything, because they're going to Germany. So, and there's no crowd there to help them, so they don't actually get an advantage from being at home. So, it's very it's a really weird situation. So, but that's,
there is a slight potential of something crazy happening.
Right. Actually, before jumping, whatever that saying is with the horse and the cart, Champions League has been scheduled to begin basically
August. I think the 6th or the 8th or something.
Yeah, 6th or 8th of August, and it's supposed to finish in 12 days. So it's going to be a very quick tournament. One-off games in Lisbon. All the games in Lisbon. All
the games in Portugal.
Yeah, because that's where the final's supposed to be. So they've just given all they're just hosting the entire comp basically. It's a bit like a I don't know if it's all the same stadium.
The Portuguese are lucky.
Yeah, they got Wolves. They got the Champions League.
What, the Europa League is?
No, I'm saying.
Oh, the Wolves. Yeah,
I'm saying they just got Wolves. The Wolves belong to Portugal. So, and actually, that's an interesting point too. Europa League, but we'll get to that another day. But things to look forward to. But this week, I'm looking at this top three rivalry. Leicester. I want to see if Leicester can pick up again. I want to see if Chelsea can churn out a positive result as they need after that loss. They probably will, but you never know. Crystal Palace is... Sorry, that's Leicester's problem. Watford. Watford's another big question mark. So you just don't know what you're going to get from them.
When you're
it's like a box of favourites.
When you're versing those teams in the relegation dogfight, they're never easy at this time of season. So
you're like Luton. But
look, don't get me started with that goal.
We're moving away. We're moving away from Leeds.
You went back there.
I know, I did, and now I'm taking us away from there. Oh. So I'm directing this ship away before we get stuck into that. So I want to see Leicester and Chelsea fight for their spot. I want to see Wolves smash Arsenal, and I want to see Manchester United prove me right and say that Bournemouth cannot score a goal to save themselves. And continue the good form.
I'm quite happy with that.
And continue the Solskjaer revolution.
Here's
a Liverpool player. I wish. A Liverpool fan
Solskjaer's
calling for the Solskjaer revolution. I love it. I love Solskjaer, and I've been saying this for a while.
I know Solskjaer's amazing.
But I mean, good for Manchester United.
Yeah, he has been.
I've thought that
that
he's been good.
Legitimately.
Yes. So signing's been on point, and it's just continuing. So they're doing it the right way, and I'm all for it. So
yeah, and here's me as an Italian football fan. Still waiting for AC Milan to get it right, but anyway, it's just...
Yeah, they less said about AC Milan, the better. Just forget that they exist until they come back.
No, I can't.
Until they become relevant again. We forget that they exist.
Yeah, but I'll follow the league anyway.
They need a proper manager first. But thank you, everyone, for listening. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and the video is really close. There will be a video. Hopefully there'll be a video before our next podcast, but no promises. Really no excuses this time. But
no, there's no promises.
No promises.
That's it.
Very special
but
video.
It'll come. Patience is a virtue.
It'll come, and then it'll be followed by many others, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So, don't forget to check out our Facebook, YouTube. Comment, please. We love feedback. And until next time, we will speak to you then.
See you later.